Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and I am back with my Ninja Foodie, and I'm going to be doing another recipe in it. This time I'm going to go ahead and do a quick shrimp boil because I'm tired and I don't really feel like cooking, and this is what I was craving, and so let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm using this is the 6-quart, the smaller foodie that's out there, not the really, really big one, but the smaller sized one. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go ahead and add my ingredients. So I've got some red potatoes here that I've already cut in half. And I've also got some corn, fresh corn, that I've broken in half. Dump that in there. I'm also going to add some andouille, some Cajun andouille sausage that I've also kind of chopped up. Just throw that in there. And then I'm going to add about 4 cups of water. All right. And then I'm also going to go ahead and season that water with some of, let me switch hands, some of this Zataran's shrimp and crab oil stuff that I bought for this. It's good. I've already poured out about 1.5 tablespoons of that. Y'all, so I like to taste every ingredient that goes into everything, and I tasted that by itself, and it's obviously disgusting, and it burnt my mouth. It's so crazy. But anyways, it's good when you use it when you're supposed to use it, like you're supposed to put it in a shrimp boil. Don't just, eat it by itself. And then I've also got here about 2 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning. So I'm going to stir that and try to get that water to cover as much as these ingredients. And then I'm going to pressure cook this first before I add my seafood into it. I had to go get a spoon. This is how unprepared I am. All right. So yeah, the water is not going to completely cover everything. That's fine. I mean, real talk, all this stuff is pretty much already cooked anyways. Well, except your potatoes and your corn. But andouille sausage comes fully cooked. But we're still going to cook it. We're going to pressure cook it. So it's fine even if the water doesn't come all the way up. So as you can see, the water is not completely covering everything. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and put my pressure cooker lid on. So I can figure out how to do that. Easy. And I'm going to, I don't know why mine is always set to vent, but we're going to go ahead and make sure we set that to sealing. Seal. Okay? All right, so now I'm at the front of the unit, and we're going to go ahead and set our timer. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on, and we're going to cook this on pressure cook, high pressure we're going to do 4 minutes. And start. And as you can see, that little pressure cooker icon went on. This little circle thing right here is basically indicating that our machine is rising to pressure. Once it reaches, the pressure it's supposed to be, it's going to start that timer countdown from 4 minutes to 0. And then when it's done, it's going to do a very faint beeping sound. The beeping sound on the Ninja Foodie when the food is done or when the pressure cook cycle is done is very faint. So you really have to pay attention, or you might just want to set a separate timer, or just honestly kind of listen out for it because it is not loud. All right, so I will be back. All right, so my timer went off when it was very faint. Barely heard it. So I'm going to go ahead and press stop. And I'm going to go ahead and release my pressure by turning my valve from seal to vent. I don't know what's going on with that. Weird. Okay, there we go. This is the longest release ever. right, so our button just fell down, which means that we've released all the pressure. And I'm gonna go ahead and open the foodi. And as you can see, got a nice broth going here. And I'm gonna try to find a place to put this lid. That's the one thing I will say that's kind of annoying about this one is like, it doesn't have like a place where you can put the lid. So our valve is just quick released, and I am going to go ahead and add my seafood to this. So I am doing some fresh mussels. Fresh mussels? Yeah. I rinsed them off earlier, so there's a little bit of liquid in there. That's fine. I'm just going to throw that in there. And I'm also going to add some fresh shrimp that I have cleaned and deveined. Deveined. And I'm going to add a little bit more Cajun seasoning. Probably about a teaspoon. I'm going to sprinkle some, but I'm going to guess about maybe a teaspoon more. I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top because I want that to get on the shrimp as well as in the broth. And I'm going to grab my handy dandy spoon and kind of give it a little bit of a stir so it kind of gets covered down in that liquid just a little bit better. Yum. And I am going to cover my pressure cooker, and I'm going to cook this on high pressure for, I'm going to do a minute. We're going to go ahead and just place that right back on. We're going to make sure our valve, which we've just set to vent, we're going to push that back over to sealing, and we're going to set this for high pressure for 1 minute. So real quick again, when we're setting our pressure cooker part, we're just going to select pressure. We're going to do, adjust that down from 10 to 1, and we're going to start. And it's going to build pressure. It shouldn't take as long to build pressure because the ingredients in there are already hot. So generally, if your contents are not cold, or well, we did just add some kind of cold ingredients to it, but since the broth is hot, it shouldn't take as long to reach pressure this time. And we're only setting it for 1 minute because we've got some delicate seafood in there and we don't want it to overcook. That's why we didn't add the shrimp, especially since it's fresh shrimp and fresh mussels to it earlier when we did the first pressure cooking cycle. All right, so my timer went off for a minute, and I told y'all that little beep on this machine is very low. And so it went off and I didn't hear it, and I want to say it probably natural release for about 2 minutes before I realized that it was done. So then I stopped it and quick released. So I'm just hoping that my shrimp isn't overcooked. I'm sure it's fine, but there, my little red button went down. That means I can open my lid, and we'll see what this boil is looking like. Steam, yay! Now this looks good. I'm gonna wait for the steam to get out the way so y'all can see it. Okay. So this, and as you can see, let me grab a shrimp here. Shrimp is cooked. Let me I'm gonna taste this shrimp just to make sure it's not overcooked. Oh, it's perfect. That's perfect. Now, I'm not done yet. When it comes to the shrimp boil and all this stuff, I like to sprinkle parsley over it, make it look pretty. And I'm also going to create a garlic butter. I'm literally just going to melt some butter and throw some garlic powder in it. And I'm going to use that as a dip for my shrimp boil. So I'll be back. Okay, so now that the steam has kind of gone away, I just wanted y'all to get a better look at this boil. There is my cooked shrimp. There's all my stuff in that liquid. Here are my potatoes that are obviously, they're definitely cooked. You can see the skin. You can mash easily. The skin's coming off. Yep. And my mussels are done. I pretty much know mussels are done because they've opened. That's pretty much it. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and find a plate to put these on and make my butter, and I'll be back. So here is my completed plate. This is my plate for my shrimp boil. I went ahead and made my garlic butter. Sorry, Cora. I think baby's hungry, so I'm gonna log off. But I make my garlic butter separate, and I like to dip my seafood into the garlic butter while I'm eating it. Or you can make it and just toss it over the top. And I've also added a little bit of extra Cajun seasoning as well. So just another idea and inspiration to making your Ninja Foodie. And I will actually just write out the instructions on what I did here in case you want to recreate your own shrimp boil in the Ninja Foodie as well. All right, so until the next recipe, see you later. Bye.